YouTube, good morning, good morning, good morning. BigH Trucking coming to you from the Petro, Gary, Indiana, off of I-80. 280 miles to my receiver. It's not due till tomorrow night at 9 o'clock p.m. or 2100. Just wanted to make a quick video. It's been a couple of days since I made a video. It's been kind of hectic. I've been burning the candle on both ends, so to speak, trying to get this load out of northern Maine, literally 2 miles from the Canadian border, to Wisconsin by Tuesday, and I absolutely nailed it, killed it. Because coming from that place, the shipper, just down to that first big rest area in Maine on 95, 315 miles. It's basically almost a drive shift. So I was fortunate enough to be close to the shipper, the receiver, dropping the load off. I was actually at that TA in Greenland, New Hampshire, and the receiver was only 20 miles away. So I basically had a fresh clock, 11-hour clock, and so I was able to get up, all the way up, come all the way back down in one drive shift. So that put me ahead of the game. And then got up, drove from Massachusetts to Ohio, just the beginning of Ohio. And then last night I drove from Ohio 380 miles to where I'm sitting now, and just got plenty of time. I'm going to Wisconsin. I believe I'm on my way to Missouri to start the training aspect for the TNT. I think I'm just going to do TNT. I'm hoping that I want to give it a shot, and I want to do a TNT first and see how it goes. You know, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but many videos you heard me say I'll never train. But I also found out there's like 190 people waiting for a trainer, and I'm all about team. When I heard that, talking with Lyle from No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, I decided to put my hat in the ring. So I want to start out by doing a TNT, not a PSD, because as a lease operator, I have a payment every week. I certainly don't want to be sitting on a pad. I know you can take the student out, I get all that. But I don't want to be sitting on a pad, letting them, find the points. I'd rather just take a student out from day one, train them the way I was trained, and then some, because my student from day one is going to be involved in every aspect of what we do on a daily basis. I'm not going to do, you do this for this week, you do this the next week, no. They're going to fill out, scan doc, they're going to do the BOLs, they're going to do the macros, they're doing everything. The only way to learn is to get involved. I'm not going to overwhelm them. There's no pressure on, you got to figure this out by tomorrow. None of that. You've got what I feel. I'm not even going to go by the miles. It's not going to be 30,000 miles. You have 30,000 miles, you're off the truck. If I feel you're not ready, you're not going. You need more time. And if you buck back, then you buck back, and I drop you off the terminal, and I'll grab somebody else who wants to learn. This is a serious game, folks. It's a serious game. You're talking about a truck that's 80,000 pounds. You're talking about your livelihood and other people's livelihood. If I feel you're not ready to go out on your own, you're not going out on your own. I'm not going to be one of those trainers. And my student's not going to be a steering wheel holder for me to make an extra couple of dollars. It's not what it's about. There's too many people, there's too many prime folks that I meet out in the real world that don't even know how to slide tandems. Blows my mind. Don't know how to put a load lock in a trailer. Who was your trainer? What are they doing? Shame on those trainers who just use students to make money. Shame on you. Really pathetic. with my own eyes where the student was trying to back and the trainer had his feet up on the damn dash, looking at his phone, not even paying attention to what the student was doing. What a joke. I mean, if I was a rat bastard, I would have somehow contacted safety or the head of training and gave him the trailer number and the truck number and hoping that he would be disciplined. Because when I saw that, it blew my mind. I actually said something to the guy and he didn't have nothing to say back. Like, how dare you not pay attention to your student? Well, that's not going to happen in my truck. So wherever you get, you're going to be lucky to have a guy like me training. I don't know it all, but I know enough to make a hell of a good living, and safely and on time. I earned the gold ring with the diamond in it, and hopefully more diamonds to come. So I understand there's some controversy in regard to this whole trailer lock situation. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know what's going on, but I've heard from others that there's this really big pushback against it, if that's really what's going on. And I'm all for a service failure on the loaded trailer with no lock, because I have gone down the road and I've seen many of a prime trailer with no lock. Where I take exception to, and again, this is just my opinion, is after we leave a receiver, typically the trailer's dirty, it's got wood chips on it, and then we're probably going to a washout, or we're going to go somewhere to clean it out. Why do people need to put a lock on an empty trailer with broken pallets? And I think it's not about that. It's about how harsh getting a service failure, because that stays on your record forever. So no matter where you go, that's on your record. That's on your DAC. You earned a service failure. Well, can you explain the service failure to me? Yeah. I forgot to put my lock on an empty trailer full of broken wood chips, wood pallets. That I don't understand. That baffles me. What baffles me even more than that is no one ever does anything about upgrading our Qualcomm. No one says nothing about our Qualcomm. I've seen small companies have this beautiful iPad that's digital displayed, and we have a GPS that if they did a renovation to a highway and they reconstructed it, that the GPS doesn't even know that that's still the same road, and it tells you that you're lost. Now I use all my tools. I don't depend on, my GPS to get me from point A to point B. I use my Atlas, I use GPS, I even use Google. Actually, I use more Google than the Atlas than the Qualcomm. But it's hilarious that in this day and age with a company that makes that much money to have a GPS that's, I don't know, from the early 2000s. And what about the comm data? What is up with that company? Why is it like every week it's down for maintenance? Like yesterday, it was out during the day. How many people got caught up in that failure of that company, comm data, that needed to fuel and then couldn't fuel? What happens if you were 70 miles away from the shipper or receiver, and because you couldn't fuel, you couldn't get to that spot, and now you have a service failure? Now, you probably wouldn't get a service failure because that was out of your control. You only get service failure for things that are in your control. But it just goes back to the lock on the trailer that's empty. That I don't agree with. I think that's a harsh penalty. I personally do lock my trailer But there are times, I'll admit I'm a human being, that after I'm empty, I know there's no valuables in my trailer anymore, that I don't put a lock on because I'm going to the Blue Beacon, or I'm going to another washout, or I'm going right to the shipper. I don't see there's a need for a lock if I'm with the trailer, because 97%, 98% of the time we're usually getting a load. We have a proposed load, just like I did Friday. Shipper up to the receiver. They have a washout on site. Why would I need to lock that trailer? Somebody needs to explain that to me, to make me understand that what can happen to that trailer. I'm not staying overnight at a truck stop or a rest area, and now somebody's going to rat me out, and I'm going to get a service failure. And how do these service failures work? Are we going to actually have people cruising up and down the major highways and snapping pictures at our trailers? Really? The Drivers Advisory Board voted unanimously to give out service failures for locks that are not on empty trailers. I agree with the loaded trailer. Meat has doubled, just like Drivers Lineup said yesterday. Meat has doubled. Everything has doubled, and it's going to keep going higher. And typically speaking, when you pick up a load, it's a journey. So you're going to be staying at truck stops, rest areas, and there's a very good, when a criminal sees a seal and there's no lock, that's an invitation to please take me. But these people are criminals, see that there's no seal in the trailer, they're not going to waste their time opening a door and to find air and broken wood chips, broken pallets. So I think they went just a little bit too far, but they need to refine that one piece. They need to take that out of the clause. Because like I said again, usually I rarely, maybe a couple times, have gotten an empty trailer that I had to stay at a truck stop overnight or at a rest area. I don't know if that holds true for everybody else, but it really does happen to me. Come on, guys. Let's not eat each other and cause all this dissension. Or can we narrow it down? Because again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. This is, I guess, an ongoing saga. If you have a loaded trailer, no lock, shame on you. That's just real sheer laziness. But to have the same penalty for an empty trailer, that's a little bit too harsh. Those are just my 2 cents. Prime's a fantastic, excellent company. They've given me a great career, plenty of opportunities. I'd hate to see someone get a service failure that was on their way to a shipper after just dropping off a load. I think that's a little bit harsh. Again, that's harsh. But can we concentrate on things that really need to be fixed for the drivers, like an updated Qualcomm and GPS system? Can you guys help out? And this comm data issue that seems like every week they're doing a maintenance. I mean, you imagine if Visa or MasterCard did that every week, or in the middle of the day, they just decided you can't use the card. We can do better, folks. All right, listen. Love you all. Looking forward to training. Looking forward to teaching the next wave of students coming through. Stay safe, make great decisions. And don't forget to put the lock on your trailer.